So guys, trip out to Letor in Castilla la Mancha, and we're on the DSX 900. Me and my wife, fully loaded, so we're carrying a fair bit of weight. The bike's chugging along quite happily. And where are we so far? Well, like I said in my other videos, this bike's causing a bit of a real storm with die-hard adventure bike fans and people who've never rode an adventure bike per se before. So people, especially here in Spain, all sorts of people are buying this bike and putting pre-orders down on it. Now, it could be for various reasons. People like a bargain, or most people like a bargain. When the sales are on and you see something extensively or really cheap, you might see a nice leather jacket that was €500 reduced to 100. Now, you don't really need that leather jacket, but something takes over, your heart rules your head, and you end up forking out €100 for a leather jacket that you think you bought as a bargain that you didn't really need. That could be, to a certain amount, the reason why some guys, motorcyclists, have gone out of their way to buy this bike. They think they're getting a BMW GSA Adventure for half the price, and because it's so cheap, they're prepared to sell the bikes they already have to go and buy this type of bike. They may want to get into the adventure bike scene, so they've looked at other options, maybe the Benelli TRK range and the CF Motor range, and they've looked at this bike and thought, this bike, for the spec, for the size of the engine, what you're going to get, everything that's on the bike, it's an absolute bargain. So the elephant in the room is this bike is made in China, as I've said in previous videos, so it's a Chinese built and made bike. And a lot of people have this negative view, or this biased view, of Chinese made products, which is absolutely crazy, because most things that we use and consume in everyday life, even high-end gadgets, etc., iPads, iPhones, most of your mobile phones are made in Asia. We're quite prepared to use them and pay out big money. I mean, you're looking at an iPhone here in Europe, an iPhone 15 Pro, maybe €1,500. That's a chunk of change for a phone that you carry around in your pocket. But people are prepared to shell that out because they think they're getting the best. So guys, the storm that's coming. Well, we all know the storm that's coming. That's going to be the Chinese manufacturers who are coming into Europe with high quality bikes, high quality components, and undercutting the market. Now, this isn't anything new that's happening now with the Chinese invasion with the bike market. They've done it with lots of other products in the past, but it's a replay of something that happened in the 70s, late 60s, 70s. Japan came into the UK with what was known then as Datsun, which later became Nissan cars, and Toyota, etc., came as well at the same time, bringing really affordable cars, high-spec cars that had carpets, radios, cigarette lighters, everything in them, while our British-produced and American-produced cars had basic steel doors, and everything else was an optional extra that you had to pay for. So everything was included at a bargain price, and really smooth, refined engines. So they started to do that first with cars. They also did it with the bike scene. The early bikes that came into the UK, a lot of people had the same opinion, that the Japanese products were no good. They were copies. They were copies of British bikes and American bikes. But very quickly people realised that these bikes were high quality components. They rode well, they lasted well, and people soon wanted these products over traditional British or American products, or European products I should say. So the tide is turning with bikes in general, and what Voge have done with this particular bike, the Voge 900 DSX, they've gone all out to flood the market with a bike of high quality components at such a price that it's irresistible for people who want this type of bike. Now, I talked earlier about why people buy this bike, whether they're going to buy it as an impulse buy because they think they're getting a bargain and it's so cheap, or they actually need this type of bike or want this type of bike. Now, those of us who want this type of bike, so we want another adventure bike where we can go down trails, we can do everything we want, but we haven't got pockets deep enough to shell out 18,000 for the same bike that I'm on now, with a BMW badge and BMW components, but they're well prepared to shell out 9,000 for a bike of a similar spec. Now, with all the will in the world, we won't know, and we won't know for a few years' time how this bike's going to hold up, but it's got 5 years guarantee. All the components on it are top notch. The engine and the swing arm, the chassis are the same as in the BMW bikes. It may be an older style of engine, and it might be an older type of chassis swing arm configuration compared to the new 900s. I'm not 100% sure, but we know for a fact that this engine is the same engine that's been put into BMW bikes. It's the same design, the same shape, components from one engine to the other fit on and go on great, and it's a no-brainer. If you want something and you don't want to shell out a lot of money to get it, you've got a limited budget but you want a top-end bike, Voge are bringing out bikes to the market that are accessible. Now, CF Motor is another another company that's bringing great products to the market. They've brought the CF Moto 800 MT, the Explore version and the Sport version out. The problem with those particular bikes in the Spanish market when they came out, they were very, very close to the price point of some other bikes. So I'm talking about the V-Strom 650, the later versions, the 2023 versions, for instance, and some other versions, the Versys, etc., were within the same sort of price range as the CF Moto 800 MT. So the CF Moto 800 MT, if I remember correctly, started here in Spain at something like 10,500 or 10,200 if I remember thinking back. Then you got, that was the sport version, then you got the adventure version, not the adventure but the MT, I can't remember what version they called it, but it had the wire wheels on it instead of the spoke wheels, had a bit of a higher spec, a few more gadgets, a few more riding modes, but with a small 5 TFT screen. And I think that was rolling in something just under 11,000 euros here in Europe. Then they brought the Explore model out. Now, the Explore model was a fantastic bike when they brought it out. The spec was really good. Used the same again, the KTM 790 engine. But in Europe here, that model was going out at 11,999 without the luggage. So the luggage was bought separately. There was a short offer when it first came out where you could get the luggage within that price, but quickly stopped and you had to pay extra for the luggage. So you're looking at the Explore version here in Spain. I'm not sure what the current price is, but it'd be well over 13,000. Now, in that price bracket, there's a lot of competition. And that's what really not stalled the sales of the CF Moto in Spain, but certainly they didn't have the massive sales that Voge are getting with the 525 and this particular model, the 900 DSX. So there we have it, guys. That's the reason why at the moment there are 9,000 people waiting for test rides on this particular model. All the models in the first wave, as I've said before, sold out pretty much instantly. The second wave are coming in, I believe, in September, and you'll be able to get, even now I think you might have a chance of ordering one, but people are saying that orders are now stopped until 2025. So after the next lot coming in September-ish, September, October, there'll be no more coming in till the new year, which will be 2025. So it's been an absolute storm of a bike here in Europe, and it's created a storm from BMW riders who are rightly thinking that, you know, this bike is going to steal some of their thunder. And to be honest, it is going to change the market dramatically, especially in the second-hand market of adventure bikes. It's going to tip everything up, especially if they come in lineup that they're promising to bring out. I mean, they're bringing out similar bikes to the BMW 1600. They're bringing big touring bikes out, all high quality bikes and products. So it's going to really create the perfect storm in the market to change the market around. And that's not a bad thing. It's going to be a good thing in general for the market as such, because competition is always good for giving us the choice and leveling prices. So guys, yeah, some good things to come. So guys, you can see that we're out and about in the Voge. I'll talk a bit about the trip that we've taken. Obviously, you've figured out that this is a voiceover. The reason it's a voiceover is I'm waiting for my new mic. I told you in a previous video that I'd lost my old one, and a new one is arriving tomorrow, so from tomorrow onwards we should be good to go. But yeah, this was a ride out on Friday to a place called La Tour, which is in Castilla la Mancha. The ride's about 100 kilometres from where we are in Murcia, and some stunning stretches of curvy, long, sweeping bend roads that lead up to this village, this stunning little village in the mountains of Castilla la Mancha in Albacete. And stunning, like, medieval village with waterways running through, trickling water. Pretty little church and scenery to walk around. But now, as you can see, we're on a trail. This trail's about 5 kilometres long, and it's pretty shady, pretty rutty, although it doesn't look too bad through the camera looking through the screen. But my wife's on the back at the moment. We've got the full luggage in all the panniers. Huge big drop off just at the side there I went past, and she's not overly keen, so obviously I've muted the sound of it so you can't hear what she's actually screaming in my Cardo headset, but she wasn't best pleased. But on the whole, the ride along to this waterfall we're going to was pretty comfortable, and it was pretty safe on the whole. It was shaly, but the bike behaved very well. I had to stand up a couple of times, but it's a stunning bike to take off-road, and even more so on your own. But here we are, guys. We've walked another maybe half a kilometre down to the falls, and in the summer this place is absolutely streaming with people who are swimming in the waterfall, swimming in the river below, picnicking, etc. But current temperatures in this video, it's already knocking up to sort of 30 degrees, so it's quite warm, with it being a weekday, and we're still in the back end of May. It's not as busy as it normally is. On a weekend, tomorrow on the Saturday and the Sunday, this would be fairly busy. But yeah, stunning space to explore and get about. And what we'll do, we'll have a mooch around the waterfall and the trails around here. We'll get back on the bike, we'll get back into La Tour, and we'll have something to eat. So guys, we'll head back to La Tour and we'll get something to eat. We'll find a restaurant. Yeah guys, a couple of things I really like about the DSX 900. The sure-footedness of the Pirelli tyres and the setup of the chassis suspension. It's a dream to ride on bends, roundabouts. You can really get this bike cranked over even with a passenger on the back of full luggage and feel really confident that you're not going anywhere. Look well ahead on your turns, where you're going to turn into, and it handles like a dream. It's got the power, all the power you need to up. It's got that grunt that most dual sport off-road bikes have. It's not got the refinedness of, say, the Suzuki V-Strom or a Honda, but that's part and parcel of the charm of this type of bike. It's similar to the GS 850s and the KTMs and the Desert X. So yeah, heading back, we'll head back down this trail and hopefully get something to eat, like I've just said. But I'll do a full video, more intensive, of all the things about the Voge 900 DSX that are really good, things you should look out for, things maybe you shouldn't buy the bike for. Don't go buying this bike just because you're thinking you're getting a half-price BMW. You need to buy this bike purely for what it's made for. Doing a day-out adventure like we're doing here, or getting away for a few days with some luggage. You really need to enjoy it for what it's built for. So guys, here we are at a restaurant in the town, which turned out to be really amazing. Tiny little restaurant entrance, and inside it was the old theatre from the town. Beautiful surroundings, beautiful food, and a great day out in general. So guys, here's the ride back. Beautiful curving bends. We've had a fantastic day. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, press that notification bell and you won't miss anything. And I'll catch you in the next video very soon with a decent microphone. Cheers for watching, guys.